أعتقد لما طلب مني to moderate this panel اليوم أول شيء سويته I went on Google and Googled what is open banking. فودنا نبدي أول سؤال عندنا نحاول نعرف شنو open banking. في a lot of confusion حول الموضوع هذا. شنو الفرق بين open banking و digital banking. My first question is to you, Dalal. Since you are the open banking expert on the panel, can you please give us a brief definition of what open banking is?
Sure. Can you read? First of all, good morning and thanks for having me here. It's a huge honor صراحة to be talking about open banking on home turf. It's the first time we were speaking about open banking with Kuwait. Open banking is a process, let's say, of sharing your financial data with your permission to other third-party services and products. So today, for example, you share your location to find the nearest restaurant, or you share your health information to get better statistics. This is not available to us in the financial realm, let's say. The open banking opens up your financial information to other products and services that gives you more innovation within finance. So I can share my transactions and get مثلا credit scoring, or I can share my account history and find out, for example, how am I doing across different accounts that I have. So it's a new technology, and it would open up a lot of new products and services for us as customers.
So thank you. Building off of that, since we have also Ustad Mohammad Al-Othman and NBK, can you give us an explanation of digital banking? Is that something you guys have started off, the NBK?
Thank you so much, Bob. Everyone. Digital banking is a very big word when we talk about digital banking. So basically what we do today on our mobile banking is digital banking. There is digitalization and digitization. Where digitization, where we digitize all the processes that we are doing in the branches, started from the account opening, customer request, and when it comes to digitalization, we are adding new services, through the mobile bank. So this is the difference between, digitalization and digitization. This is one. The second thing, which is most important, what we become a very famous word, very trendy when we talk about digital bank. Fully digital bank. So I don't know if I'm jumping to another point. So this is when we talk about digital bank, that's mean that bank has no presence on the ground, only on mobile, only on websites, and more specifically on mobile application. This is where we are in NBK, where we started, and proudly, we were the first to launch the first digital bank. Today, as we speak, we have a lot of digital banks around the globe. Those are the banks that they are, specific value proposition for targeted customer. You will not find a digital bank where, they do what all the conventional banking doing on the ground. So most of the digital banks, they are focusing on a niche market. For example, if they are focusing on ultra-high net worth customers, on Shabab, this is in our case for VI, for example.
I would like to ask you a question. You guys launched the first digital banking last year. اللاندسكيب اختلف، اللاندسكيب بالقطاع المصرفي اختلف، تغير. فشنو كان دافعكم or what was the main what led to this kind of decision for you? Nice coach.
What drove us to launch VI? The idea was before COVID, when we were believing that 63% of the Kuwaitis are below the age of 30 years old. And we believe these kind of customers, targeted potential customers, are not saved well. Especially those are, the digital adoption is huge. How they are using the internet, they are always on their mobile, always on internet. This gave us an opportunity, and there is a potential to launch a digital bank. So what did we do exactly? We were starting to study, what this kind of customers, or what's this, type of customer, what they need, specifically. We started, then COVID came, and where all, institutions, companies, they were, bad situation. They don't know. We were at a very dark time. We don't know when COVID will end. We don't know what we really invest on.
Yeah.
So where we came up with an MBK and with the support of the executive management and board of directors, definitely we said no, we need to invest in education. This is where we invested. We got 90% of our team are Kuwaitis. We came together from a different location around the globe. We came with a specific customer value proposition targeting Kuwaitis youth from 15 to 24 years old. We launched on 23rd of November 2021. As of today, I can tell you, I will not disclose the number of customers yet, but what I can tell you, we are 300% from our targets that we set for ourselves into the 2021.
That's very impressive.
This is telling you how, the digital adoption is very important. Most of the digital banks, they open because it's easy to be on your fingertips, on mobile. And globally, 50% of these accounts are not funded. Today, we have 84% of these accounts are funded. Customers are using. So this is what tells you, and this is setting this. I'm saying this even for other banks, because I believe other banks will, they give these numbers, they will definitely invest and come up with a new digital device. And we in MBK, we don't mind, because we believe that's helpful for the market, and it's healthy for us to keep the momentum and to compete with someone else.
So this is where I would like to bring in May, because you brought up what other banks are doing. We just heard when Saad Mohammed on the launch of WEI. Is that something you guys are looking at? Are you seeing what NBK is doing in that field? Are you watching and learning? Well, what is your strategy over there? Yes.
في Gulf Bank احنا الابروتش مالتنا we focused on data innovation and من ناحية digital banking as a service specifically. And I don't believe in digital offering or digital requirements بس حق youth. I believe most of us here need digital banks. I'm not youth. I don't know what to تعتبروا youth. شباب القلب. But honestly, the key to offer a digital banking service was that we needed for كل العملاء مالتنا. كل عملائنا يحتاجون digital. وبيست على في ريسيرش 2022 بين لندن بزنس سكول مع داست بالكويت. الديجيتال ليترسي بالكويت 99%. So literally من only the عيال كلهم متعلق بالتليفون يعرفون يستخدمون التليفون. in the digital abilities عندنا والrequirement إن الكاستمر بالكويت يبي digital services ما له شغل بالعمر سواء صغير ولا كبير. فكان توجهنا في بنك الخليج إن لا مدام إن إحنا كل عملائنا يبون digital service we focused على actual digital services في الآب في الويب سايت في هذه الأشياء ومن خلال البيانات. إذا عرفت بيانات عميلي إذا عرفت شنو حاجته شنو يبي شنو الخدمة اللي يبيها أقدر أوفرها هذه على الآب على يعني كل القنوات الإلكترونية عندنا. فمثلا بصافحت في حساب بدقيقة على الآب مالنا تبي تسوي أي معاملات كل المعاملات ممكن تصير أونلاين. فلما احنا نفوكس على كبيانات وابتكار ونايزينيت وانوفيشن كبيانات اعرف عميلي زين لما اعرف عميلي زين اعطيه الخدمه اللي يبيها وتكون كل عملياتي في الديجيتال بانكينج موجهه ومخصصه للعميل. اذا اللي داخل على الاب بنت صغيره والله راح تشوف شيء غير اللي يشوفه الواحد الكبير اللي يدخل على الاب. وهذا البيرسوناليزيشن او ان تخصيص الشكل في الديجيتال اب حسب الشخص اللي داخل. واحد والله كل شغله بالانفستمنت اوري شيء ثاني اللي بس شغله تحويل يطلع له التحويل الاول. وهذه تعتمد على شنو؟ على البيانات وعلى الاناليتكس وعلى تحليل البيانات. شنو انت تسوي نعطيك اكثر، شنو تحتاج، شنو تبي نعطيك اكثر. وهذا يرتبط طبعا البيانات تعطي او تغذي الابتكار. كل ما انا عندي بيانات واشوف واحلل شنو العميل يسوي ابتكر خدمات جديده حسب هو شنو يبيها. يعني مثلا احنا عندنا واحد من الأهم في الشباب مثلا عندنا اوفرز مثلا حق البنزين حق الشباب وايام معينه ما حطينا الاوفر هذه عشوائيه.
نشوف شنو معاملاتهم. والله ما يصرفون بنزين كل أحد بمحطات معينة، فقمنا نعطيهم والله أوفر بنزين كل أحد، واستانسوا لأنه خلاص بك الخليج يعرفني حسب معاملاتي أنا أقدم خدمات. يعني الواحد لازم نعرف العميل عشان نعطيه اللي يبيه.
offering services based على الداتا اللي قاعد نديرها.
personalization بالعربي.
personalization. تمام. ابتسام, I would like to get your input on this. يعني قاعد نشوف الترانسفورميشن اللي قاعد يصير بالفاينانشال سيكتور، قاعد نشوف توجه نحو الديجيتال بانكينج. You guys at Commercial Bank of Kuwait, where do you find yourselves بالtransformation هذا؟
Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to participate in this wonderful event talking about the future of banking in Kuwait. طبعا زملائي ضفوا موضوع ان الديجيتال ترانسفورميشن لازم بعمل احتياجات العميل، لازم يكون تقديم الخدمات حق الشريحه بحسب ما تتطلبها based on the behavior ودراسات عملية. فأنا بحب نسوي أكثر عن تطبيق الابلكيشن بالنسبة لنا كالبنك تجارب وأفرعنا. بالنسبة لنا إحنا طبعا عندنا unique way of banking بالنسبة لنا عندنا إحنا we customize our solutions in CDK. So we have branches that are of different natures depending on المنطقة السكنية، طبيعة العملاء وطبيعة الترانزاكشنز اللي يصير في الأفرع هذه. فعندنا أفرع فيها خدمات مصرفية شخصية، وفي عندنا أفرع نعتبرها operational transactional based بحيث إنه يكون عدد الموظفين فيها قليل والاعتماد الأكبر على خدمات ذاتية بعدة أجهزة متوفرة في الزفاف. طبعا إذا نبني ننقل أي خدمات من الطريقة الاختيارية إلى الطريقة ديجيتال، يكون في فريق متواجد في الأفرع بحيث إنه يوعي عملي ويساعد ويعرض على المرحلة الانتقالية إلى إنه يقدر يدرس بنفسه باستخدام البطاقة المدنية، باستخدام الباسيف authentication مثل ما تفضلت الآن نريد أن هذا يفيد النقلة النوعية واللي يدفع في التحول الرقمي وaccelerate the pace of the digital transformation. فبالنسبة لنا إحنا في تركيز ومكثف جدا على في 3 سنين اللي طافت على نقل الخدمات في الفرع نفسه على أجهزة، وبالنسبة حق القنوات الرقمية الموبايل والإنترنت باكي، بحيث أن العميل يتمكن أن يخدم نفسه بنفسه على راحته بأي وقت يناسبه 24 hours. مع هاي المبادرات صار في نقل أو استثمار أكبر في الباك أب channels. فمثلا عندنا القنوات الرقمية اللي هي تعتبرهم also front line staff اللي يخدمون العميل بغير face to face interaction. فعندنا تيم وتخصص حق إذا العميل موجود بالفرع ممكن يكون في virtual agent يخدمه ويساعده في الأمور على ما يسوي steps بالنسبة يعني. عندنا also through the live chat عندنا بكارية فيديو and audio call and the text. مؤخرا علشان ما يكون في ضغط على ال waiting lines سواء digitally or at a branch, we have introduced new ways of enabling customers to leave requests ويرجع لهم an agent في نطاق معينة هي تعتبر بالنسبة لنا KPIs سواء كان بالفرع أو حاول يستخدم الخدمات عن القنوات الرقمية. فبالنسبة لنا إذا بقى تسعر التطبيق بالنسبة لنا also we have customized solutions, customized devices, and we are pushing forward and pushing more and more, adding more and more to the
there's the term of digital transformation is part of the strategy of the commercial bank. But I also heard in maybe want to discuss شوية على regulators and في push from the regulators also to have for all banks to have the customer centric approaches. صحيح؟
طبعا the regulator already been quite a central bank of Kuwait خاصة في المادة 16 لما طلب تحديث الجهات كانت في a huge emphasis إنه يكون الاستراتيجية المبنية على customer centric approach. فمثل ما تفضلت الأخت مي إنه لازم يبدأ من احتياجات العميل. شلون إحنا كبنوك نقدر نستبق حتى إن العميل يعرف وش يحتاج إحنا نستبق الحلول المبتكرة. وإني طبعا الأوبن بانكينج راح يساعد وايد في العملية هذه لأن بخلال الأوبن بانكينج العملاء راح يكون عندهم أوبشنز أكثر، راح يكون في مجال أو يمكن فرشة علينا كنا كبنوك إن إحنا نواكب الموضوع هذا، ولأن إذا إحنا ما قدمناه راح يسبقونا الثيرد بارتيز
فبالنسبة لنا إحنا we fully embrace an open banking and we believe in it is the future. So there will not be any resistance من أي بنك يحاول إنه يكون بنك رقمي أو إن كثر ما نقدر نكون رقمي في ظل الضوابط الموجودة من regulators. So
تمام. سبقتيني بالسؤال لأن أنا كنت راح أوجه السؤال لدلال اللي هو is open banking does it force greater competition بين البنوك? Is it do you think banks does it force greater competition? Is it a threat to these banks? Is open banking a threat to traditional banking?
So thank you for clearing that in. At the onset, I think banks see it as, if you just look at it as a new entrant, it does look like it's competition because historically banks have only been the folders of account information and financial information. But if we look at, for example, what's happening in Europe, what's happening in Singapore and other parts of the world, it's almost like fast forwarding to the future and seeing what's going to happen. By opening up the accounts and allowing regulated third parties, مثل Sphere, we're an open banking provider, we are allowed and regulated to connect to the banks and pull in that information. We can enable a lot of different financial products and services. So the bank itself can provide you products and services. مثلا اليوم عندك مثلا digital app وياي allows customers to link their cards that's already the WII card. Let's say مثلا already مثلا the youth مثلا أو حتى even adults have another bank account. Let's say they bank with commercial banks and they want to see a full picture of their accounts. We can work with NBK to pull in that information and combine it all into their application. But for the banks, there's a lot of benefits in that they'll be able to offer new products and services وحتى to keep them on their toes to innovate and be at the forefront. Well, as in for us as consumers, individuals and businesses, there will be a lot more in terms of the fintech field and financial services that are offered to us. And we don't just depend on مثلا investment companies or best banks to offer us financial products. There will be a lot more innovative technology players that offer us a financial product.
It's a more of a liberating, liberation of the financial sector. And the word, yeah. So, Mohammed, I'd like to get your input as this on this specific question. Do banks need open banking to grow?
Yeah, we don't see open banking as a threat, honestly speaking, as much as we see it as an opportunity. Because, as mentioned by Dalal, this is really give us the opportunity to cross-sell other banks' customers.
What can you explain on that?
If we are not able to reach them today, we'll be able to reach them when we have open banking. So because they're going to share their data and in spare of the keys, and we will be having the chance to cross-sell, other banks. So this is what. The second thing, it's not anymore. And then خلاص, privacy. Today, as you look at our lives, it's privacy is gone. Honestly speaking, if we share our locations, we share our, the photos in Google at their fraud, and then we bought more, storage and iCloud, Google Cloud, we share our photos, we share our moments, we share everything. So the privacy is not really there. It's an open world, which is not an open banking only. So this is where if we're going to resist, I believe not at here, but all the banks, if we're going to resist, sorry, will be out of the system. Because open banking is just the start. Going forward, people will not be linked to their accounts. ID with MBK, everything is MBK. No. People will shop around. The pressure will be, and the competition will be more, again, back to what you may mention about the data, how we monetize the customer's data, how we know exactly what he needs. And that is true, so I don't see it again. In fact, to your question, I don't see it as much as an opportunity.
Okay.
We will get the advantage and we become the first who will definitely have it.
This is no total. I would like to get May, your opinion, and also if you can touch on the point of data security, since it is a touching point for موضوع open banking.
True. And adding to what he said is that yes, it is an opportunity for banks. وإحنا after all, as banks, we want to provide the best customer experience. open banking is one way to provide a great customer experience حق عملائنا. إذا عميلي راح يقدر ياخذ يعني خدمات زيادة عن طريق الفنتك. أول صح كان إنه والله الفنتك جايين إنه تقول it's scary for the banks. It's not. Many banks have been down that route. شافوا والله we partner with them. You know, we can't beat them, join them. We partner with them. يصير في partnership هذه تساعد البنوك وتساعد الفنتكس. الماركت كله يصير مفيد للعميل. بالنهاية إحنا نبي نخدم العميل، نبي كاستمر اكسبيرينس حلوة، نبي خدمات تكون متكاملة للعميل عن طريق الفنتكس. الديتا طبعا هي يعني في جزء منها الرول هذا جزء كريجيليتر، جزء أصلا حكومي. يعني الحكومة في سترة وكيد عندنا هذول يرجليت إنه والله البيانات وين تتخزن وطريقة تخزينها، وشلون إن عندنا مثلا في كلاسيفيكيشن للديتا وفي ديتا برايفسي. السنترال بانك في شيء اسمه ديتا سايبر سيكيورتي فريم ورك، إن السنترال بانك هم حط قوانين معينة ولوائح معينة إن لازم نلتزم فيها. والحلو إنه الحين حتى الفنتكس دخلوا معانا بالسنترال بانك، فهني البنوك ما راح تخاف إن تتعامل مع الفنتكس لأنه قاعد عندنا نفس اللائحة كلنا فيها. وهذا الشيء تفضل يزيد.
تفضل.
Al-Haddad is out. I was basically us as open banking players. Yeah, we are licensed as not as a bank but as a third party player that is approved and regulated. It has to follow strict guidelines of data and how often we communicate with the banks and receive the information. But it is a very highly regulated activity. There is security measures that happen and on the data privacy laws, and also as a regulator what they can do and what we are allowed to do and not to do. It's there is it's not so much like sharing photos. But it's the same concept, but there's a lot of regulation that us as third-party providers or open market players that we have to follow in a wide graph.
I would like to.
كان المركزي بالنص كان صعب علي نتعامل مع فينتك لأن ذن أنا عندي regulations وأنا كبنك محاسبة وعندي أشياء معينة ما أقدر أدخل مع الفينتكس وأسوي partnerships إلا لما يجي دور البنك المركزي. وهذا كان دور رائع إنه هو دخل وحط هذه اللوحة أو سوى الساند بوكس اللي أنتوا قاعد تشتغلون عليه. فوجوده هذا حتى يطمئن العميل بالآخر إن أنا معلوماتي اللي بحطها هني والله المركزي is here to regulate this transactions. كلنا شفنا شنو صار في علي بابا في China لما كانوا some fintechs are not regulated وبعد 10 سنين خلاص كلهم صاروا regulated now. sometimes إحنا نتعلم من other markets سواء good or bad إن لا we have to start on the right foot. وهني بالبيانات لما نشير البيانات لمصلحة العميل. I'm not selling his data. ما قاعد بيع بياناته والله استفيد منه to make money out of him. أنا أشير بياناتي معه ونفس الشيء الفنتك شير بيانات مع البنك بس شنو لمصلحة عميلي. هذا الأهم شيء في الآخر.
Their permission, exactly. Yes, permission can be removed at the top. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, talking about sharing experiences وأسواق مختلفة على موضوع الأوبن بانكينج. دلال, Spare is live in Bahrain. It is in the sandbox testing for Kuwait. I would like to just ask you a question. If you can touch on how has that been going so far, وإحنا بالكويت وين واصلين في موضوع الأوبن بانكينج.
Thank you. So yes, we are licensed and regulated in Bahrain. We're aligned with 7 of the largest retail banks in Bahrain as an open banking provider. We went to Bahrain because the regulation was already there and we could apply as an open banking player. We came to Kuwait as well, and alhamdulillah, we got a lot of support from the Central Bank of Kuwait to start testing within the sandbox as an open banking provider. We have 3 banks in Kuwait who were pioneers and who are built the APIs for us to test with them. We're working with Fobian, KIB, and MoneyTech. We're testing with the sandbox, and we're also speaking to other banks who would like to test. As a regulator, the framework is being drafted with KPA and the Central Bank at the max. That's in process and happening in parallel. So we will have clear open banking regulations in Kuwait and licensing, I think, within the coming year. So it's very exciting though.
That's very exciting, inshallah, within the coming year. I think we all touched upon the subject of open banking and it's ما في resistance with traditional banking. I would like to أخذكم شوية 5 years in the future. تقولوا لي how will this change? How will it enhance my life أنا personally كمحمد أو كend user علاقتي مع البنوك. I'll start off with you, Dalal, and then I'll
Sure. نفس ما قلت يعني we can always see the picture by seeing what's happening in markets that have regulated already. So Europe, UK, Australia, and the US to an extent. Today يعني we're integrated. Customers have integrated and use open banking without them knowing that this is what's working in the background. So, for example, I want to apply for a loan, and I connect my accounts, and it does the credit scoring. The app does its credit scoring and the bad health, and gives me مثلا a quick instant loan. How does that happen? You're getting connected to your accounts keyword open banking pairs. That in terms of consumers, there will be a lot of services in terms of lending, financial, personal finance. You can see all your accounts together. You'll be able to find very personalized products from the bank. So today, the bank would know in this person spend a specific way, and it might be applied for a loan next month. That high level personalizations will happen. In terms of the business side, which is also important for OpenVadger today, I can only import my bank statement وأنا manually لازم أدخلهم financial software. If you're using, for example, QuickBooks or Xero or any of that, يعني إحنا startups we do that, and it's very horrific. If you have open banking, it's integrated seamlessly, automates and bring in your financial statements and your bank statements into your financial forecast. That there's so many benefits for us as consumers. The use cases are endless. On the bank side, they allow her also any regulated. What they do is they ask the banks to develop any basic APIs. وبعدين the banks can convert يسمونه premium APIs. فمثلا they want to allow services and مثلا they do it today, but they want to allow fintechs to access them, and they try to the point of that. There's huge opportunity for banks to also monetize within all the banks.
So I would like to pivot to Ebtissam, but we've been talking about how open banking is going to change how I do my banking as a consumer 5 or 10 years from now. I want to ask you, what does that mean for the bank itself? In terms, I think in the US, the teller or branch manager is considered a disappearing job right now. البنوك شكل البنك شلون راح يتغير if most of my transactions are going to be online. I know you guys are leaders in تفضلتي بكلمة الموضوع operational branches والkiosks. Do you see that happening in Kuwait?
بالنسبة حق المستقبل we're talking about physical presence.
Physical presence.
يعني we're talking 5 years from now, I don't see that الموضوع الأسرع راح يكون موجود في الكويت. However, شبه الفرق وشو استقطاب الفرق هو اللي قاعد ننقم. بالنسبة لنا احنا مثل ما ذكرت قبل شوي إنه قاعد نحاول نتفق حق their transactional or things that are not digital at his point in time. وalso عندنا الأفراد كمبيوتر ولا لا. فالlocation so far will be there. Will it be unmanned branches? We're testing automated lobbies. Would it be the same way everywhere? But I don't really think, because even in Europe, some certain products have not been digitized, such as, for example, the UK. If you visit a branch, you will see that if you want a loan or a mortgage, you will have to do it by appointment, and you have to come in person. There's other services, transactional services, transfers, payments, withdrawals. You will see the machines there, and you would be guided on how to use them. So in 5 years from now, I don't see that the branches will not be here. It seems to be important in Kuwait for the banks. I was just discussing with my colleagues, and they foresee geographical presence. But the shape of the presence might be revolutionized, I think, or changed.
Mohammed, would you like to add to that?
I believe that we already started today in MBK, where the start to visualize how the branch will look like, what is the customer journey and customer experience within the branch. Today we have I think 4 years back, we started in Bayan of Yaban 2 branches where we eliminated tellers. What is our being done for? So basically we don't maybe deal with cash. So it's all electronic, all the payments are transfers to mail of cash might be. Then we started also to have our first flagship branch in the Grand Avenues, where it's fully, automated. You have an ideas, you have some people that we don't roll as much as our relationship also go on to the contract that call them universal bankers. Those people are just give you an advice and suddenly have, transactions that need, the Al-Othman every final or February, and still you need an link for that. France, such as yours. And 2 days back, we launched sign deals electronically. And that's, we need to spotlight on this as well in terms of even the government. Having said, having get policy, that's able to, it's a good, it's a, infrastructure to build on. To do for itself, and you can open an account using, we are using mobile ID. Today, you've not about loans and credit cards and became mobile application using Hawaii. So we need to, we need to appreciate that, and we push even the government side to come up with these kind of solutions, digital authentication. So back to branches, I believe we already started. We are learning, definitely. It's a long journey for learning. Plus, we believe the branches will not disappear. Where we are focusing, opening, last week we opened a branch in Sadiq area, we are opening soon in Ardina, we are following our potential customer sales. Basic side. But it's not more about, corporate clients are now dealing, because dealing with us, they are nearly 90% of their transactions are done electronically, they don't need us. We have seen the cash in the country is declining. Digital adoption is there. All what we need, money that we get, digital has no age. Before Corona and enrollments, we were saying that from 15 to 20, to 39, those are the people our targets for digital or mobile. If you want اليوم الكل ما في بنت الأعمار digitalization and digitalization, and this is very important. So we need to.
Definitely, thank you. I think it sounds very promising. Adoption عالي في الكويت, mobile adoption, banking industries is or open banking is on the forefront. Inshallah, as Dalal said, within the next year, hopefully. I would like to thank everyone on the panel today.